main event here. We got Aljamain Sterling versus Henry Cejudo. I am rolling with Henry Cejudo here. I think he's just such a gamer. He's been training with the best, training the best. He trained Wei Li Zhang. He trained with or, helped John Jones train for Cyril Gahn. He's really good at picking apart film and picking apart exactly what opponents are going to do, what their game plan is, their strategy, down to their footwork and, their tells, and if they telegraph anything, and how to counter that and when to use your grappling. And, just he's so in depth. He is an Olympic gold medalist 2 times. He's a champ in the UFC. So, the experience is certainly there. It's just a layoff for Henry Cejudo. He's been out for 3 years now, and you have Aljamain Sterling, who's rolling right now off of, some interesting wins. Obviously, there was the Petr Yan first fight, and then the second one, that was a tight one. And then you have the win against TJ Dillashaw, who had a dislocated shoulder going into that one, and it was pretty easy for Aljo. Couldn't get it done in the first round, which was interesting because I thought that fight was over as soon as that shoulder popped out. I think Henry Cejudo has the hands to, or at least had the hands. It's going to be interesting to see how he comes out Saturday, but he's clearly been training and working, but he has the hands to deal with Aljamain on his feet, and I think he's the better wrestler. Both of these men love their wrestling. And Henry Cejudo has wrestled against some of the best in the entire world. So I think just the mental stuff, the fight IQ, the game planning that comes with Henry Cejudo, plus the physicality. I think that this is it's his fight. And at -110, it's a pick'em fight. So Vegas is a little bit unsure, probably because of the layoff. But we've seen other former champions come back this year off of layoffs and dominate fighters. So I don't think it's going to be any different for Henry Cejudo come Saturday night. And I'm really excited to see him back and fight and everything. So I think we'll be hearing and new come Saturday night. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, I think they should change that. Like, if you've been the champion and then you get it again, like, I think it should be like and again.
Yeah.
Would be cool. Like, to have like a third different moniker for like if you recapture the title. That aside, I think I agree with everything that you said. And also I think it's interesting where the challenger has the gold in this picture and the champion does not. Nevertheless, I think Aljamain Sterling, his method of victory is, he's good enough, he's formidable on the feet, but he finds a way to get to the ground, and he's that human backpack. And then at that point, he's just waiting for you to make a mistake because he's really good at being down there. If you make him stray too far away from the ground game, ultimately it doesn't sway his favor. He had the 2 rounds in that rematch against Petr Yan. He had the second and he had the third round. I think there was a round late. I think there's good arguments that Petr Yan took the second and the third round. I think there's a lot of arguments that Petr Yan had the 4th and the 5th round. And the first round, I think, was a toss-up. If my memory could be misserving me, but I know there was a lot of back and forth about how that fight went, and Petr Yan absolutely on the feet took the latter 2 rounds once, Aljamain Sterling got maybe a little bit tired, perhaps from keeping the back for so long. I think in the scramble situations, Aljamain may find Henry Cejudo's back, but a little bit that's a little bit similar to the Petr Yan fights, but I think dissimilar from those is Henry Cejudo was a far better wrestler and grappler, and I think he's going to be stuck in those positions for far shorter than Petr Yan was. And I think on the feet, he's going to have the same success that Petr Yan had, if not more, because I think he's going to be, especially after defending some takedowns from Aljamain Sterling, especially after having Aljamain get his back and then being able to get out of it. I think Henry's going to gain some confidence, and maybe you're going to see a little bit of confidence leave the sails from Aljamain Sterling after he realizes maybe I'm not going to be able to take this, have my way with this gold medalist wrestler, Olympic gold medalist wrestler. So I think when it comes to grappling, Aljo will definitely shine and have his moments, but I think Henry Cejudo over the time is going to allow, have his Olympic gold medal winning grappling shine through, be able to defend a lot of the takedowns, be able to get out of those more compromising positions, and be able to win on the feet. And I think, Aljo, he doesn't have a style where he's landing a lot of damage once he takes you down. Like I said, he's going for that human backpack. He's going to try and touch you up and piece you up so that there's an opening that he can advance his jiu-jitsu. Whereas Henry Cejudo, if he takes you down, he's looking to finish you there because he knows he's going to have the position via the fact that he's just a grappler. He's a wrestler. So he's already going to be in that position to hold you. And now he's just trying to piece you up and could really allow you to open him up. He can get you with a submission if he absolutely has to, but he's really trying to finish you on the ground. And again, like a lot of wrestlers do, once they get some knockouts and they get some really good striking going, they use that grappling as an anti-takedown so that they can then piece you up and make other people think about it. I think Henry Cejudo has a lot more weapons. And, you said it first, everybody's echoing it, and I couldn't agree more. Once you start coaching and you start telling other people and breaking it down and you live by the sport, you become so much better. And Henry Cejudo mentioned it a lot that, yes, it's 3 years to the day since he last fought, but when he retired, he didn't just stop training right away because it was maybe at that point a bargaining chip to try and get a better contract. Once that fell through, he got married, he had a kid, he took some time off admittedly, but for the past year or so, he's been wanting to get back in and he's been training again. So he talks about, I only took about a year and a half off. I wasn't terribly injured, had to get surgery and work my way back like other people who've taken that time frame off. And he's been around the game, he's been coaching. So I think, between the ears, he's gotten a lot better over time. And he's 36 years old. He's been training. And for a gold medalist, I think he could still be maybe on the late part of his prime. And, you have Aljamain Sterling. Listen, he got neck surgery, right? He takes some time off in between fights. And when was his last fight? It was 5 months ago against TJ Dillashaw. I think he said he got hurt again in that fight, or he took that fight a little earlier than he should have because maybe he knew TJ Dillashaw was compromised or he thought it was going to be easy. Nevertheless, I remember there was some injury component that was around there. So I think for all of those reasons, I know this was long-winded, but I'm trying to give a very detailed breakdown. And for all of those reasons, I'm going with Henry Cejudo to get it done. And I don't know if he gets to finish, but I think ultimately he's going to win more rounds and more points at the fight. And he's just more versatile in this fight.
Yeah, I totally agree. And -110 is a great price for him. All right, you want to go through our pick rundowns?